Parabens are going to give you breast cancer. Silicones are pore clogging. Petrolatum is going to give you acne. Hello, hi everyone. This is Shrija. Welcome to Skin or Real, where I talk all things skincare. So if you like skincare related content, then make sure that you're subscribed. Likewise, you can also follow me on Instagram, where I post more regularly. So if you have been following me, you probably already know that I have a background in cosmetology and skincare formulation. But a lot of you are not aware that I'm an MSc in psychology, which means that I very well understand the impact of marketing strategies on human emotions. To be more specific, I'm talking about emotional advertising, wherein brands use feelings to get people to buy. This in itself is such a big topic or a subject in itself. So today I'm only going to refer to one human emotion which is very relevant when it comes to skincare or beauty industry, and that is fear. Fear is a natural human emotive response wherein one reacts to certain situation or stimuli in his environment to increase his chances of survival. For instance, if you see a snake in the room, your natural instinct would be to run. I'm sure you're not going to go and try to catch that snake because that is not good for your survival. So when it comes to skincare, brands use this fear to encourage people to buy certain products or to avoid certain ingredients that would increase their overall well-being. For instance, using silicone-free moisturizers, buying organic, green and pure skincare products, staying away from parabens and so on. Statements like XYZ toxic skincare to avoid, skincare is the new cigarette, and apps like Think Dirty, which apparently educate consumers about potential toxins in their skincare formulation, are few examples of how lucrative fear industry can be. Now, a lot of this information is not well grounded, and I'll tell you why. Number one, the data is based on cherry-picking information from the scientific literature. The data is based on cherry-picking information. By cherry-picking, I mean that these companies will pick certain bits and pieces of information from a larger study, which often serves their biases. For instance, a company trying to scare you against sunscreen use will find a random study that says sunscreen causes cancer, and then they will pick up few random bits of information from here and there and will present a data to you in a way that is more favorable to their biases. So don't believe in this cherry picking, because more than often this is not what the true picture is, and in fact sometimes the result is actually quite opposite. So please do your research properly. The second thing is that these companies confuse correlation with causation. Correlation is a relationship between two studies. For instance, there's a relationship between good skin and sleep, whereas causation is when a certain factor causes the occurrence of the another one. That is, sleeping for 8 hours can lead to a good skin. More than often, general public is not aware about this differentiation, and people who do not have scientific background cannot very well decipher scientific literature, and companies are taking advantage of this. So I request you guys to be very mindful while reading a scientific paper. Check out the authors, check out the date of publication, check out which company is funding it. Keep all these factors in mind so that you make a more informed choice. The third factor that I want to talk about is that these companies and marketing strategies don't consider the dose of ingredient that is used. I always say this, guys, it is the dose that makes the poison. Even water can be toxic at high levels. So the next time you read a study about certain ingredient being an endocrine disruptor, make sure that you also consider the dose that is being used in that study. So moving on, let's talk about 3 ingredients that are actually good for your skin but are getting defamed due to these dirty marketing strategies. Starting with ingredient number 1, and that is silicones. So the other day I sent out a routine to my client and she has acne prone skin. So she messaged me, aren't silicones pore clogging and bad for my skin's health? So to answer her question and yours too, silicones are not bad for you. They are permeable in nature and they are not going to clog pores. In fact, silicones are there in your product so that your product is able to spread easily, and the smooth feeling that you get from your moisturizer, it is due to this ingredient. So the next time you read a study in which apparently silicones are not letting your skin or your pores breathe, be very mindful, because your skin and pores do not breathe, and even if they did, silicones are permeable in nature, so that wouldn't have been a problem for you anyway. Ingredient number 2, and that is parabens. These poor guys are getting such a bad name in the skincare industry right now, from causing breast cancer to being hormone disruptors. Ill-informed people blame them for everything. But why? Parabens are actually derived from para-hydroxybenzoic acid, which is actually naturally occurring in so many of our fruits and vegetables like cucumbers, carrots, onions, cherries, blueberries. They are also used to preserve our confectioneries, our cereals, our meats. And in skincare, parabens are a class of preservatives that prevent our cosmetics from going bad. And in reality, unpreserved cosmetics are so bad for you. Now, because everyone is so fearful of parabens, what is happening is that the companies are trying to find alternatives to these, and these so-called natural alternatives to parabens are actually linked to a rise in cases of contact dermatitis. So please be very careful. Parabens are used in skincare since a very long time. In 1984, Cosmetic Ingredient Review expert panel affirmed that they are safe to use in skincare formulations at lower concentrations. In 2012, again, Cosmetic Ingredient Review expert panel reaffirmed its findings and said that parabens are completely safe to use in lower concentration in skincare formulations and cosmetics. So please don't believe all these companies that are trying to tell you that parabens are bad, because in reality, they are not. The third ingredient that I want to talk about today is petroleum jelly or petrolatum. I don't know from where this myth is coming, but now people are fearing petrolatum because they believe that it is going to clog your pores. Maybe it happened with some beauty blogger and she shared her experience and the entire world generalized it and started believing in this. But in reality, petrolatum is one of the best occlusives available to mankind, which is an excellent product for sealing and transepidermal water loss. Yes, there's a possibility that your skin might not react well to them, but in reality, that can be true for any other ingredient as well. For instance, my skin can tolerate petrolatum, but it cannot tolerate coconut oil, which is fine for some skin types. So what I want to say is that if you have been using petrolatum and it has been working for you, then there is no need to throw it away thinking that it is going to clog your pores. In fact, if you have dry skin, it is one of the best ingredients for you. And if you frequently suffer from any skin lesions or acne bumps, then putting petrolatum can actually give your time to heal and increase the speed of recovery. So these were some of the ways by which skincare or the beauty industry fools us. So please be very mindful and do not believe everything that you're reading online. Please do your own research. There are also few incidences wherein some certain smaller group studies wherein certain ingredients like silicones caused acne. But I will tell you what, that happened because people did not wash it off properly. And yes, of course, if you are using silicone-based products and you don't wash your face properly, of course it's going to clog your pores. But then again, it's not just silicones, it can happen with any other product, with your sunscreens, with any regular moisturizer that you're using. So yeah, unless you're washing your face properly, you are mindful of what you're putting on your skin, I really don't see any problem with using parabens, silicones or petrolatum in your skincare. Don't leave yourself at the mercy of these marketing strategies, and don't let this green beauty movement fool you. Please understand that all the experts like our dermats, the estheticians, they are not trying to kill us. They know and understand skincare, and if they are prescribing products that has parabens or silicones or petrolatum, please be aware that they are doing it for you. They are really not trying to clog your pores or destroy your skin barrier or whatever these skincare companies are telling you that they are trying to do. Please just trust these experts and don't just randomly start switching to green and clean products. So that is all I have for you guys today. If you have any other ingredient that you want me to talk about, please leave it in the comments below. Honestly, these ingredients, like the debate around them is so huge that I would need a dedicated video to talk about it in detail. But yeah, I'm soon going to do that. But yeah, apart from these 3 ingredients, if there is any other ingredient that you think is highly debatable, please leave them in the comments below and I'll definitely do a video on it. So that is all I have for you guys today. And as always, if you enjoy watching my content, then please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.